So, Sean,
Yeah.
and today's which word of the day I am choosing penumbral adjective.
Oh. Penumbral.
And no, it's not a dirty word, Sean. I know it. I've surprised myself.
I penumbled myself in the bathroom last night.
No, penumbral is a space of partial illumination, as in an eclipse, between the perfect shadow on all sides and full light. It also generally refers to magical effects or abilities that involve shadows, dim light, or darkness, often with a focus on concealment or illusion, and it can often relate to abilities that protect against light or are empowered by darkness. Penumbral.
Penumbral.
You haven't even read that?
Wait, what are you doing with the book?
So he has the confidence to finish the story.
Hear now the words of the witches.
Can you hear the words of the witches? Yeah, the words of the witches.
Welcome to Words of the Witches, the Charmed podcast that will guide you through the lesser-known published lore of the Charmed universe.
In this night and in this hour, we call upon our fanboy power, bringing education and stupefaction to all of you.
Together, we will use our knowledge and reverence abundantly, but also find ourselves sassy and delightful.
Which is why we will truly be charmed.
So, this is Words of the Witches, episode 152. I am Kevin, your resident Charmed resource.
And my name is Sean, and I'm your penumbral host.
Beautiful. So we have some stuff. We were supposed to have a guest today that couldn't make it on a whim, so hopefully we can get that going later. But we're just gonna do Sean and me today again. We had a poll last week, so we should do the poll right away.
It was actually 2 weeks ago, Kevin.
Oh my gosh, thank you. 2 weeks ago. You're such a good corrector, because I always keep thinking it's a weekly thing, but it's not. I should say next episode instead of, because
there you go.
Bi-weekly.
It was best tape ball look, and I said horror. I like the horror one. Yeah.
The scary one. Yes, horror. You're such a horror.
Sex worker.
So how do you think this went down? I said regular tape ball. How do you think the masses
I feel like
have
people
spoke?
like regular.
Okay. So on Instagram, Scary Tape Ball got the least amount of votes at 8%.
Ugh, fuck my drag.
How rude.
Yeah.
Then Gangster Tape Ball got 24%. Lady Tape Ball came in second at 27%. And then regular Tape Ball got 41%.
I was right.
Yeah. I feel like regular Tape Ball looks like a Muppet. And maybe that's why it's comforting.
Accurate.
Something Miss Piggy would approve of.
Oh, Hermie.
On the YouTube, I don't remember if there was anybody. Oh my gosh. So regular tape ball got 67%, lady tape ball got 33%, and the other two got 0.
Oh, lame.
So let's get into manor keeping.
Manor keeping.
You can't just vanquish an entire house, especially not our house. People are gonna notice.
Manor keeping.
Well, the problem isn't the manor. It's the manner in which it was treated.
A good witch is a clean witch.
It's a big manor keeping this week.
Yeah.
Do you want to do yours first?
We can start with mine. I'll try to keep it as concise as possible. I just want to give updates on my working with Hermes. So I went into a little bit how I wasn't getting a response from a job since April. And then the same week that I started working with Hermes, they called me the next day and I had an interview that Wednesday. And then I was struggling with school for a few months. And that week, like, I read through the whole study guide, and it turned out I couldn't use that test anymore. I should have checked that before I read through the whole study guide. So I was kind of like, I was like, fuck, I'm going to spiral into another depression. And then it was crazy because I've been going on Reddit like almost every day to get tips on how to pass this test. And suddenly that week that I started working with my Hermes, there was this link that said, try these tests. And I went and I paid for the test. They were $15 on Udemy. And the questions were so similar that like I was able to see why I was getting stuff wrong and like study from them. And I passed the test. I graduated college.
Yay!
Yay!
Congratulations!
Thanks.
What a wonderful thing!
Definitely enjoying my Hermes. I found this yesterday. It's a little Hermes statue in one of the witchy stores I went to in Burbank. So I'm gonna keep on working with him. I'm enjoying my time with him.
Yes, your little Hermes.
Yes. Is that a euphemism?
I didn't even think. Yeah, perhaps it could be. Rawr. So I have some things. Well, first I have a nice thing. I don't know if everybody saw this, but when I posted the last episode, kind of file of me with the magazine issue 7, Rose McGowan commented on it, and I felt super seen because she said, "Your dedication and depth of knowledge is incredible. Clap, clap." I'm like,
that's so cool.
I'm like, I
love her.
I didn't even tag her or provoke her, and she saw it. Yeah. So I'm like, that's super cool.
That's something
that was really neat. But now we have the sad news.
Yeah.
People who are Charmed fans will know. It's not a surprise, but it's very sad. On July 4th, it was announced that Julian McMahon has passed away from cancer at 56 years old. It's crazy because no one even knew he was sick. He was dealing with it privately. Yeah. I don't think they even said which kind of cancer it was. It was his wife announced it. And it's just so crazy. It's like, it's hard after Shannon, and it's hard after all the other losses. And I almost feel like I'm getting numb, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's hard because I've thought about this. We're getting to that age, we're like middle age now, where all of our heroes, everybody we grew up with, they're getting to that age, and we're going to have to start watching them kind of drop off. And it's sad, but it also is comforting to know that like Julian was so loved by everybody he worked with, and that even though he played kind of an ass in all his characters, like just the warmth that we hear about from all his co-stars, I think is amazing. And I feel like if I went out at 56 with that much love and that much under my belt, like I'd be very proud and be okay with it. So hopefully that's kind of where he was.
Yeah, that's really nice. And I feel like he knows, and he knows he's been very accomplished. He's done so much, and he's had such a really great career in such a short amount of time. I am fortunate that I got to meet him. He did only one convention. I just met him at his first convention, and it's the only convention he's ever done. And it was super cute. He was super awkward. He was turning to Alyssa all the time, like, what do I do? Wait, this isn't normal. So that was really fun to see him like trying to learn the convention ways. And his accent is so interesting because he's Australian. He's native Australian, but he's been in America and doing like American accents so long that it's kind of like a hybrid accent. It kind of morphed. Yeah, just a wonderful man. And yeah, people definitely loved him. I actually did a kind of a bonus poll asking people for their favorite Cole moments. And I don't know if you can see, I have my Cole page open on the Book of Shadows today.
Oh, nice.
I had some really fun write-ins for favorite moments just to kind of remember him a little bit. Yeah, and it was cool that so many people paid their respects. Machiavelli Smith and Holly and said, look after Shannon and stuff and go find her. Ugh. So Prescott Street Attic says 420. That's the Long Live the Queen. Such an amazing episode. Devere Burnett says Cole guiding Piper back to life. That's in the 7-Year Witch. We have Gone International. Says telling Prue don't when she started kickboxing the Seekers in the Manor before the P3 spell. Hello, it's Trav. Says the invincibility fight with Piper. So yeah, these are all very iconic moments. Where the false prophets, our friend Sean says all of them. Every time Cole was on screen, I was paying close attention. Charmed Wellspring says surprise and look who's barking, and the scene that followed Phoebe. When I had him sign my book of shadows, that's what I wrote, because I wanted something that was short that he could write and put surprise when he couldn't be vanquished. Rick Influencer says when he takes in the hollow, 100%. Mr. Alex Lester, another friend from the convention scene, says grabbing Phoebe's ass while in Paige's body. It was gross, but he knew it, and that's sweet. Joyful Gem, Jalisa, says either when he was nuts or the ghost robber with Phoebe. Nathan Lightwood 93 says when he and Phoebe saved Paige from Shax, that "say the spell, damn it" line delivery was awesome. Yeah. Sarek's Kingdom on YouTube says every time he was shirtless. Yeah, and then Laura7203 says I would say 301 or 408. That's The Honeymoon's Over or Black is Coal. I personally loved him and Phoebe and think they should have been Endgame, at least for me. And then Gloria Guidance, she's the one that's listening to this podcast as she reads the novels, says I'd say all of them because he was one of the most handsome men ever.
Wow.
So definitely loved. And Cole as a character, we've had kind of mixed bags about him, but we've always really vouched for his character, even when he wasn't always written the best. And yeah, he's definitely made it his own. And I was recently watching The Residence on Netflix, and he was in that. I was like, that was a nice surprise. He gets to use his Australian accent for that. He's actually playing the Prime Minister of Australia in that, just like his father was, which is pretty fun.
That's cool.
So yeah, and Doctor Doom or Fantastic Four fame,
of course,
lots of really good things.
And those movies, the Fantastic Four movies, they weren't good, but they're good. Like I still like to watch them sometimes because they're campy and fun. He was good in them.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed those original ones. I mean, I didn't watch the other ones after that because I knew those would be just garbage. But I enjoyed the 2000s ones. It was a really fun time in comic book movies, and yeah, they were fun.
Mm-hmm. Plus, Chris Evans runs around naked half the movie, so that's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We love Chris Evans in there. I believe next issue there's a feature of Julian McMahon, so we can really get to focus that again next issue. But I thought we definitely had to pay our respects, and it's just they're so young. They really are so young. It's much sooner than I expected them to be.
Yeah,
it's just sucky. The cancers.
I know. 56.
Shannon was only 53.
He was so young. That's crazy.
Yeah. 53 and 56, and so it's like too much. There's too much going on, and combined with the hell that America is right now, it's easy to become really depressed and get into funks. So it's nice that we can at least bond and find ways to pick ourselves up with each other.
Yeah, I feel like these podcasts have become kind of a therapy session. We just get
absolutely
to laugh and have fun for a few hours every week.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into this issue. Today we're covering Charmed Magazine issue 8 with the headline Piper Unveiled. It's very penumbra. The light and darkness. Very penumbral. Yeah. And this was published November 22nd, 2005. edited by Kate Lloyd. We have writers Kate Anderson, Phyllis Ungerleider, David Walden, and Ian Spelling. And we have... I'm missing something. Oh, designers. That's what it is. The designers, Caroline Grimshaw. Designers! Caroline Grimshaw, Marcus Scudamore, and Russell Seal. So they change a little bit every issue. So yeah, tell us what we'll be covering this issue, Sean, with the contents.
So we've got, of course, our charm news section. We've got Holly Marie Combs, Family Ties, so a spotlight on Holly. Jason Lewis, Hex in the City, which is funny. They put this picture right next to it, so I'm like, Jason Lewis really let himself go. No, that's not him. We also have location, all about the bathroom. We've got more on making your own book of shadows. A little pop-up about Dorian Gregory, an officer and a gentleman. We've got the Halliwell family tree, the life and times of. So we take a look at Jonathan West. What else do we got here? Demon. These numbers are all over the place. I'm trying to go in order, but it's like they're not in order whatsoever. We've got a demon profile on Zankou chicken. There's a section about doing the thing that Kevin never did and subscribing to the magazine. We also have a look at the Power of Three Blondes, Ask Brad, Show and Tell, and then a little feature on next issue. And there's no canonical errors whatsoever in this whole book, Kevin. Are you excited?
I'm trying to remember if there is any. We'll see.
There's one on this first page that we're about to go over. I was like, that's not right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did mark that. I did mark that down. Thank you for reminding me.
It even was like...
All right.
Am I remembering this?
It's like
wrong? I'm pretty sure.
It's like the first line of the.
Yeah.
No, you're not. It's the first line, and it's totally messed up. I'm like, where did you get that from? Well, we'll talk about it. So,
yep.
Next we have Charmed News, and it says wedding bells for Phoebe. Phoebe ties the knot with Dex, but is he the father of her baby? baby. So. Spoiler, Phoebe and Dex get married, but he is not the father, and the marriage will be annulled. I know. Gasp. It says something about, I guess I was going to spoiler for canonical, but the first line says, ever since Phoebe had a premonition about her own future in which she saw her young daughter, Melinda, playing happily with an 8-year-old wife. Like, bitch, no! Who said that? They never called her Melinda. They never said her name in this episode in Witness Protection. So they're like just taking Piper's kid's name and like, we're going to call up Phoebe's now.
Yep.
So there's your first canonical right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning.
Yes. Love will find Phoebe when it's time to find her. Then it says spin-off city. I get it. Spin-off city. Ha ha ha. They're pretty much saying that that a spin-off show with Kaylee is a possibility, but it isn't really being considered right now because they're focusing on this season. They're not thinking about the spin-offs at the moment. And it is not the reason that Kaylee was brought in, despite people maybe thinking the contrary. So there's that. We have Charmed. This is right after Hurricane Katrina. So Charmed raised $19,000 in donations for Hurricane Katrina victims, which was then matched by Viacom, which is kind of a parent company of the WB, which is pretty cool. The girls also filmed testimonials for a network special that raised money for them. So that was really neat. They all did their part. Brad Kern says he wants to do a 2-part finale, and we'll see if that happens. He didn't really get an official 2-part finale, but he did make a 2-part finale, just making the episode be 4 part of it. You know, he kind of got away with it. Okay, and then so seeing is believing, where we talk about the actresses who played the actors' new identities, so the fake identities. So Jenny, Julie, and Joe, and Louis. So we had Beatrice Rosen, who played Jenny Bennett in episodes 1 through 3. That was the blonde Maya assassin model chick. Then we had Monica Allgaier, who played Julie Bennett. That was Phoebe's alter ego. Christina Olwa played Joe Bennett. That was Paige. And then Andrew McGinnis played Lewis, which was the Leo alter ego. And it just told you where they might have seen them before. I didn't see them in most things. There's Paige's one. So guest stars. There's so many cool guest stars. Particularly David Gaines, who plays Nance in the Run Pepper Run. He played Phantom of the Opera for 2,000 performances on Broadway in Los Angeles and San Francisco. So that's cool. I didn't know that because he did look kind of creepy and scary. With his plastic surgery Botox that was going on in that episode. We have Michelle Stafford from the Desperate Housewives playing Mandy in Desperate House Witches. So it's like a like tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. And yeah, we got Brandon Quinn. So lots of fun things, and that's about it. Ta-da!
Yeah. Ta-da! Family ties. So David Walden sits down with Holly Marie Combs. So Holly, I guess, had just shot a scene where she has to say what she had to say, like, get that demon away from my kid or something like that. And she struggled because, like, it's not something you usually say in real life. And she couldn't find, like, a convincing way to deliver it. So she said she kind of, like, struggled, and she said kind of it, like, tongue-in-cheek, like, made fun of herself saying it.
They kind of focus on the word demon, but it's not just the word demon. It's the way that it was phrased.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's very much like the, I don't know, something's, what's that bitch line from Harry Potter?
Yeah, don't get your hands off my daughter, you bitch.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of in that vein of things.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like just kind of goofy.
Yeah. So a lot of this interview was all about her, like, struggling with saying in the line with demon in it. But she kind of talks about how she was kind of irritated with the network for, like, not telling them for so long if there's going to be a season 8. It kind of reminded her of Picket Fences and how they got told, like, late into the series that it was going to end. So they kind of had to rush an ending. So she's glad that Charmed got season 8 so they could focus on, like, giving it a good ending. She said it was funny at the season 7 wrap party because everybody was, like, crying and hugging. And she was like, what? We're coming back, you guys. Like, get over yourself. She just had a feeling like it was going to happen. So she never, like, accepted the news.
She was kind of like, she was stubborn. She's just like, no, I refuse.
Yeah, no, it's going to happen. So they asked her, like, what she did during the break. She just kind of, like, hung out at home with her new baby Finley and just kind of tried not to think about whether she had a job or not. They kind of talked about how Charmed got left on Sunday nights and how, like, when they first got Sunday nights, it was like, this is great. Nothing's on Sundays. But then suddenly, like, Sundays were like Desperate Housewives and West Wing and The Simpsons. So, like, Charmed still held its own against, like, all the hottest shows. So that's pretty cool. She was asked if there's, like, an overlaying theme, and she kind of said, like, you know, it's more focused on the sisters' love of each other and trying to, like, navigate the magic world while being sisters. I think that was about it. Like, she was asked about Desperate Housewives if she watches it. She says she loves that show, which I was watching that, like, religiously. I love that show. It was so good and so bad, like, at different points, but it was so great all the way through. She does give kind of her take on why she thinks Desperate Housewives and Charmed are successful, and she thinks it's because, like, they both, like, Aaron Spelling's really good at making different characters that everybody can choose the one that they love, just like Desperate Housewives kind of had. Like, Marsha Cross is so, like, prissy. and uptight, whereas like Eva Longoria was so like just fun loving and very Phoebe. So yeah, you definitely get the different types. And she said she noticed like this was a time where big name stars were like scrambling to get on TV shows because it was stable work, whereas a movie was like, a month to like 6 months maybe. TV show could go on for years.
This was, yeah, the 2005 2006. This was when there was that kind of having that shift where like, oh, I want to be on TV now. Like, I'm a movie star. I want to be on TV now. Like, it's no longer career suicide. Crazy.
Yep. And now, yeah, like we have some stars who are primarily like more TV shows now than movies. Like, there's no pattern anymore. You can just do whatever you want, whatever you have time for.
No, right, which is great.
And she was asked about working with Kaylee Cuoco, who's only 19, and she's like, "God damn, this girl is like so professional. I wish I was like her at 19." And she said, if she had to give advice to Kaylee, she's like, "Don't take advice from me because I was terrible at your age." I thought that was
like,
cute.
I don't know anything. I was.
And the last thing they kind of talked about was, will the different aliases carry through the whole season? And luckily, no, it was only for the first 5 episodes. And apparently, if you pay attention, you've probably already noticed this, but on episode 4 of season 8, if they look sweaty and shiny, it's because Mission Impossible 3 was filming and taking all the electricity. Fuck you, Tom Cruise. Fuck you.
Yeah, she's like, Tom Cruise was sucking up all the energy for the AC.
Yep. Princess Peach.
One thing I liked about, she said something about like with Desperate House Witches. She's like, we kind of did that Desperate Housewives, Desperate House Witches, Desperate Housewives. You know what I mean? She's like, if you can't join them. What is it? If you can't beat them, join them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you can't join, and if you can't join them, steal from them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they kind of stole that idea, and they brought because like they went with what was hot at the time. That's why they did Witch Wars, because the reality shows have just started to take off, and they were actually on at the same time as like Survivor, and so they're like it's their way of kind of trying to get views and being tongue in cheek, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then we have Hex and the City. Hex and the City. I don't know why they just didn't call it. Why don't they just call it Dex in the City? But
That'd be better.
So this is kind of them talking to Jason Lewis, who I'm actually going to meet in Paris next year. There's having a Book of Shadows Con is another Charmed convention that they're doing in Paris at the end of February 26th. So I'm going to meet Oded Fair. I'm going to meet Zankou. I'm going to meet Jason Lewis. I'm going to meet Greg Vaughn for real. Like, get him to sign my book this time and not some stupid postcard from Days of Our Lives. And I'm going to meet Wes Ramsey again and take a picture with him that's not with plexiglass. So I'm kind of redoing some of my meetings that weren't that exciting or lacking.
That's so cool.
But here we go. We have Jason Lewis, and the first thing he kind of said was that he was dating Rosario Dawson at the time. I know, frou, Rosario Dawson.
I'm so jealous. And she's like one of my favorites, and she's so gorgeous. And he got to put his dick in her,
so
and
great.
I hate him.
They dated for 2 years, but they broke up in 2006. So about a year after this magazine came out. But yeah, she knit him a scarf, and so he learned how to knit to return the favor. So they're like, he's just on set like knitting, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so hot 'cause you're knitting her, like amazing, such a great man."
Yeah, you're good with your hands,
right? He says that he is kind of used to coming into a series that has a history, because he kind of came into Sex and the City kind of late, and now he's doing this, and he's like, so my character will always have questions, just as I will have questions, so it works out. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to stress about it. He says that Alyssa is a good person to work with, and there was no weirdness whatsoever between them, which is super cool. And he's like, yeah, Sex and the City made me popular, so Now I don't have to audition as much.
Yeah.
I don't have to audition. People just ask for me now.
Oh. Location, location, location. So this one, it was interesting enough. It talked about the fake fucking stairs and how they go nowhere. But it talked about kind of how the set's laid out. So it focused mainly on two things, and that's the bathrooms and the attic. So there actually is only one bathroom, and you'll probably remember in Charm there were two bathrooms, but they just redressed the one depending on which one they need to shoot in.
We need to talk about that because the bathroom always confused me. Because there's one that has the bathtub, and there's one that has the shower, it's the end up shower, and I was like, wait, how are they both in there? And they're trying to tell us that the show wants us to think that there's two bathrooms representing two bathrooms, even though it's all one set. But I don't know. I feel like, well, because they said in pre-Witch, Phoebe's like, I'm going to move myself out of your bathroom, so implying that there's another bathroom. But if that was the case, in Witch Proves It Anyway, she says it could be the upstairs bathroom hugging Prue, or the downstairs bathroom hugging Prue, or the sitting in the kitchen drinking all the coffee Prue. If there was two bathrooms up there, they wouldn't be mad about Prue hugging the upstairs bathroom.
True. You're right.
But there was also a downstairs bathroom at that point too. So maybe when they remodeled the downstairs and turned the bathroom downstairs into a closet, they made a new space upstairs for a second bathroom. So that's how it can make sense. That's what we're going to say. Okay, sorry.
I like that.
It was on my mind.
Yeah. Since it's a practical set, they do have a way to run water through the faucets, but no toilets, no pooping, because they're not working toilets.
Not allowed.
It takes too much water. Right. The other thing is it talked about like anytime you see a bedroom in the show, at least in this Paramount studio, it's one bedroom that they just redress. So sometimes it's Wyatt's room, sometimes it's Paige's room. They just keep redressing the bedroom, which makes a lot of sense because a room is just four walls. So why would you need to have a separate bedroom for each? Especially since they rarely use the bedrooms in the show, I feel. The other thing it talked about was the attic and how the attic doesn't change much unless, of course, there's like an explosion or somebody needs to use something as a prop, but usually everything's put back in place by the end of the episode. And it just kind of talked about how everything has like walls like to shoot through, so there's big holes in the wall, but they usually typically walk in through the doors. But yeah, the stage sounded funny how like the best way to get to the attic is walking through one of the bathrooms. So this makes no sense, but it makes sense if you're there and for shooting.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Shout out to Halliwell Manor Collectibles. Our friend Kieran in UK, he uses this shot a lot for his postcards. Whenever you order something from him, he'll give you this picture with a little note that he handwrites to you.
How fun. How cute.
Yeah. We have the next section of Make Your Own Book of Shadows, some new pages for your, growing little paper Book of Shadows. I love it. So we have Ames, the text of Ames. Last we had here it is, and here's on the other page is his face. So they kind of like fit together after you cut them all out. They fit together differently. Then we have the To Call Upon Ancestors, the Prudence, Penelope, Patricia, Melinda, Astrid, Helena, Laura, and Grace. So there's that. We have this here. This kind of, I always called it like the Latin dragon pages. And they're kind of filler pages. And they aren't in Latin, it's actually Italian. So these are often referred to as the Drago Italiano Pagina, which is Italian for the Italian dragon page. They also cut off some of the first letters because it's supposed to say quando, locio in the beginning on this page, and then facciamo, they cut off the F. So there's the first letter of each of those pages is cut off for some reason. And I guess it was based off of some Leonardo da Vinci, like something Leonardo da Vinci wrote, like is a Renaissance manuscript that they took these words from. And ChatGPT, another AI thing, I hate it, but they translated the page for me. It translates to this. The left page with the tail says, "When the eye of birds closes with two coverings, it first closes the second one, which closes from the tear duct to the tail of the eye, and the first closes from bottom to top." That's the translation from Italian, which I'm like, I guess kind of makes sense, but also very confusing.
Yeah.
And then the right page with the face, and this is actually kind of poetic considering our state of things right now and events. It says, "When we begin our life with the death of others, in the dead thing remains lifeless life, which, received by the stomachs of the living, resumes sensitive and intellectual life."
I would have to sit and
so
stew on that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it is worded a little differently, but I also feel like it's pretty beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah. Then we have the Guardians of the Hollow and Exorcism and Familiars. So those pages. What's cool about these magazines, because, I mean, now I have all of them easy in my Book of Shadows and they're easy to find, but at this time, the magazine was like the first resource to have these high quality pages and having these scans. So these were very a hot commodity.
Nice. I love
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Dorian
Ooh.
Gregory, an officer and a gentleman. I didn't realize, no shade to him, but I didn't realize he was like only 27 when he started the show. That just seems so young.
All of them were very young. All of them were like in their late 20s when they started the show. Crazy, but like I think about Friends. Like we're older than all the Friends were when
True.
that show started.
Speaking
It's like
of,
strange.
I just heard this on a podcast. I think it was on Grey Malkin Lane. Apparently, Chandler was originally written that he was going to be gay. He was going to be closeted gay.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
that's why
because
he's
it
so
was the
awkward
90s,
through
they
a lot.
didn't.
Yeah. Let's just put him with Monica instead.
They don't know. We know they know. We know.
Yeah, she's man enough. So this was very froofy, but it was very like light and enjoyable.
Right.
The biggest thing that I took away from this, which I was surprised about, is I guess Brad Kern and Dorian Gregory were in talks for Daryl to come back in season 8. So obviously that didn't come about.
Yeah, and it was so sad to me because this is the beginning of season 8, and they're talking to him. He's like, Daryl is not just going to disappear. I'm like, oh, but that's what happens.
It is. And Daryl talks about part of the issue is, he's moved on. He's like doing Soul Train now, hosting Soul Train. He's been making movies, like trying to get his schedule to work with Charm's schedule was not easy, and obviously it doesn't come to fruition. But he just has so much love for Charm since it was kind of like his first breakout hit. He says like the family bonds between the actors like doesn't turn off when the cameras do. Like they just love each other so much and love being around each other. So he kind of talks about how it was hard leaving the show and how he'd love to come back anytime. But yeah, he's very.
Yeah, there wasn't too much.
I've gotten from like reading about him and also like the video he did for Words of the Witches. Like he's very spiritual. He seems like and very like introspective. So he's very interesting I like to hear him talk.
Absolutely. Did you see the post he made for Julian? It was just like this. It was just a picture, and it was just a period, like a dot. So no, it was like no words. Which for a man like Dorian, that says everything.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, my heart.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a thing he said here that made me cry. He says, "We're going to give Daryl something very interesting to do this year. Like I can tell you what it is." Meaning he had no idea.
Yeah.
He just laughs. So it's pretty funny. So next we have the Halliwell family tree. And when you hear that name, the Halliwell family tree, it's very exciting. You think, oh my goodness, what can you unpack? But it's the most basic family tree you could ever find. Like, watch one season, you pretty much get this entire thing down. So you got, it starts with grams at the top. So that's how far we go, just grams.
Yep.
Then we have Victor and Patty. They have Prue, Piper, and Phoebe. We have Patty and Sam. They have Paige. Phoebe and Nicole together. And then Piper and Leo have Chris and Wyatt. That's all it is, folks.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was very excited. When I first looked, I was like, ooh, Penelope Johnson. Is she like Melinda's? Oh, that's Graham. That's Grams. We're starting at Grams.
Yeah. So I feel like that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I don't like that Cole is in there. Like, if Phoebe and Cole had a child, or if they counted the child that she technically had with Cole, it would make more sense. But, like, they're very much broken up at this point. Like, why is he there?
Yeah. I mean, we love Cole, but it's a strange one. It's a strange one. Like, hey. I believe there is another family tree featured later on in another issue. I don't know which one that's more detailed. But right now, this was like, why put this in here? This was pointless.
Yeah, they needed to take up space.
Yeah.
All right, so the life and times of Jonathan West. So Jonathan, what was he? He's like a director, right?
Yeah, he did direct some episodes, but then he became director of photography for the whole show in season 5. So yeah, DP.
This one actually came out kind of blurry, so I couldn't read like a whole page of it.
Oh, okay. Oopsie. So I can tell you kind of what happened here a little bit. Because he became the DP in season 5, and he says he looked at impressionist paintings with dark, rich, somber tones, and that's what they changed charm to. And then I'm like, season 5, are you sure?
Yeah,
like that's like season 1.
Yeah.
So when he said that, I don't know if I could trust you, but okay.
Yeah.
And he said, like, when the cast rehearses, they will block where actors will be placed, where the cameras will be, when the special effects will happen, because and so they do that while the cast is like going over the lines, and then when the cast is in their wardrobe and makeup, that's when they'll rig up the lights and the cameras. And that's really all I got from this. There wasn't a lot that was interesting here either. They asked a lot of questions, but most of them were really basic and just kind of not interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I was impressed when they needed a new director of photography. Like, he went to the old one and interviewed him, and like basically put together a whole like portfolio. So naturally, he got it. But yeah, he put the work in.
He did, and he was on for a long time. You know, he lasted, and you always see his name in these later seasons of Charmed. You'll always see his name pop up. So, and he did, in addition to being director of photography, he did direct actual episodes as well. I don't think they list him here. But it was Oh My Goddess Part 1, High School Reunion, Ordinary Witches, Imaginary Fiends, The Lost Picture Show, and Gone with the Witches. So those are all the ones he directed.
Okay, so Zankou, he's a demon, Von Cleese 2005. So this just kind of talks about how he was such a threat that he was like imprisoned, and not even the demons wanted to set him free. Talks about how he got free. Like, he came back and he first went and killed Kira, the seer, to make sure the Charmed Ones knew he's here and he's a threat. He unleashed the I want to say the hollow, but it's not the hollow. The what's it called? You know what I'm trying to say. The
Nexus?
The Nexus. And then the Charmed Ones defeated him by like blowing up the house. And it gives like a lot of this is just about his background and who he is, but then it gives his powers. He has prescience. Zankou can sense what is going to happen and position himself to optimize the outcome in his favor. He can steal powers. When Zankou needs a power he doesn't already possess, he simply sucks the demon into him, killing the lesser demon and absorbing the power. Zankou can wave his hand past the demon's face and then look in his palm to read what the demon saw. And he can raise the dead. Zankou can bring people back to life by holding his hand over them. Unfortunately, they are then undead as opposed to being alive. So this is sort of the demon yin to a white lighter's yang. Memorable moments.
And he cannot, when he raises the dead, he cannot control them, and that's why he needs the alchemist to kind of like give him focus it.
Okay, fair.
Mm-hmm.
Memorable moments: his entrance when the demonic wizard releases him from his prison in witness protection, killing the demons who killed Brody's parents to get Brody to work with him against the avatars, trapping Minnie, Piper, and Leo in a box, being blasted by Leo, who's taken in the Nexus, being rejected by the Book of Shadows despite trying to take it with all of his strength, absorbing the Nexus, and then being blown to smithereens by the Charmed Ones. I always hate the quotes that they choose. Like, it's good to be back. That's a memorable Zankou line. Remind me
It's
why
strange.
I tolerate you again. Yeah. The plan was to get them out of the manor, and they are probably circling their broomsticks at Magic Skull. Always a clever remark in the face of danger. That's something I admire about you ladies. It's a good thing mortal women always fall for the wrong guy.
Next, we have Relive the Magic of Classic Charmed, The Power of Three Blondes. Season 6, Episode 4. Original air date October 12th, 2003. With original UK air date January 29th, 2004. And yeah, the WB used the promo title. I see that. Dirty Blondes for the episode. Oh, you're a dirty blonde. And it says reasons to watch. The Stillman sisters are perfectly cast as the three ditzy blonde witches, and the chemistry between the three wannabe charmed ones is spot on. So that's really fun. It says an episode that is actually funny from start to finish. Charmed has always had the ability to balance drama and comedy really well, but here the humor comes from poking fun at both the show and its characters, and it works so well. In fact, episodes don't get funnier or more fun than this, and I think that one really gets it right. Like, that's a really great reason and a really great analysis of the episode. Oh, here it says, okay, so the plot is wafer thin, but who cares? Sometimes it's nice to have an entertaining episode that doesn't fry your brain as you try to keep up with everything that's going on. It's an entertaining episode that is guaranteed to bring a smile to your face, and that's never a bad thing. So yeah, that was really a cool. I don't think they've ever written things like that about episodes before. It was all pretty much basic reasons. So they're definitely getting more clever and more comfortable with how they write things.
Yeah, agreed.
So now we're at the Ask Brad section. Was there anything in here that you found interesting?
Not really. They're always like the same basic questions.
I didn't get a lot, but I have like 2 notes. They said that, Brad said that he wants someone experienced directing the series finale. He said he'd fire himself before he lets himself direct the finale. He's like, I don't have that skill set to do it. I'm like, oh, interesting. And of course, we had James L. Conway directing the series finale, which is, it was always going to be him. You knew it was always going to be him. Come on.
Yeah.
And then he says that people always ask why the DVDs don't have extras.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I would call Spelling Television asking what has to be done to get this to happen. Why aren't you getting the extras? So it's not like they weren't trying. You know, they just didn't come to them. He's like, what's wrong with you people? So he's like, I don't know. He's like, and now is the time to get these features because we're all still here. We're all still on set. Like, don't try to get us to do special features after the show's over, because now is the time we got to do it. So it's strange.
Oh yeah, he did give an update on what happened to Mark McGrath, and he basically says, "I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah.
but probably just shooting schedule because Mark didn't realize how much he would have to be available for shooting."
Yeah, they didn't know, and it was because he was doing extra as well. And yeah, it's like, oh, I can't just come in and just pop in like I do everywhere else. Okay, never mind.
I'm
because they said what 14-hour days, 10-hour days, like
yeah.
oh, never mind.
Well, and I kind of feel like it worked out better because what's his name? Who was actually Dex?
Jason
I feel like
Lewis.
he's a Jason Lewis. I feel like he's better than Mark McGrath would have been.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's an established actor. Mark McGrath didn't do any acting that I know of, so
Yeah.
I think it worked out in the long run. I think we would have had another kind of Leslie St. Clair situation, but worse.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, so now we are at our show and spell. We get to the charmed letters. All right, so who do you want to
Be my
start?
guest. Me.
Yes.
I was very disappointed with the top 10 guest stars from issue number 6. Charisma Carpenter should have been at least number 5. She was a great actress in Buffy, Angel, C. Jane, Date, and Charmed. I have never even heard of Melissa George. You forgot Keir Smith, too. Why? What I don't understand is why the Donnas are on the list. They only sang. They didn't act at all, like Coolio. I just don't think they qualify as guest stars. I want you guys to know how much I love Charm Magazine. I just want my opinions to get heard. Please keep up the good work. I think you are great. I mean, she has
Chelsea
a point,
Foreman.
though. The Donnas,
She does.
like, a group.
And the thing is, like, I remember when I said that, I'm like, here's the guest stars. If you disagree, you disagree. Because it was a strange list. And, like, Charmed Magazine put it together. Like, and Cole's number one guest star, or, like, Julian McMahon was number one guest star. Like, didn't make, no. He was a regular. He did not count as a guest star.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like they get lazy or they cheat or they just want to do what they want to do. Which I guess it's their magazine, but you gotta expect some backlash. So like the next one, this is the third one because I didn't read the first one, but this is the third letter in a row that's like those guest stars. What's wrong with you? Or the top 10 demons was one here too. No ordered fare in top 10 demons. But this one says guest 2. First, I'd like to say I love your magazine and have every issue, and that I hope you keep up the great work. Second, I'm writing to say that I didn't agree with your top 10 guest stars. All right, they were good actors and characters, but I can think of more impressive guest stars. Here is my top 10. Number 1, David Carradine, Deja Vu all over again. Number 2, Stephanie Beacham, Reckless Abandonment. Canonical, it's called Reckless Abandon, not Abandonment, but okay. Scott Jake, P3 Shuo, and Sam I Am. You know, our beautiful Sam. Antonio Sabato Jr., Ms. Hellfire, and Give Me a Sign. French Stewart, Be Careful What You Wish For. Ron Perlman, Wrestling with Demons. Robert Englund, Size Matters. Armin Shimmerman, we're off to see the Wizard from Buffy, who did not have a good time working on Charmed. He was very vocal about that. Bruce Campbell, Which Way Now? Oh, I just got a new thing today. I have his little FBI badge.
Oh, cool. Cute.
Says that. And then the number 10 was Adrian Paul Ichimomi Tambien. And I love how the response is like, wow, our Charmed top 10s are certainly causing a stir, which is exactly the way we like it. Here at Charmed Magazine. Like, oh, people don't like it. Like, okay, it's fine. We just want to act like that's what we wanted to do. So, like, hey, if anyone else got an opinion, write to us. Even if you disagree with us, send us your mail.
Mm-hmm. All right, envelope art. Charmed Magazine's mailman is looking a lot happier these days. Why? Because of you lot, of course. It sounds like a gangster wrote it. The response to my request for envelope art has been phenomenal. First, check out the pictures below. Unfortunately, there can only be one star It's very blurry. Star Prize winner every issue,
Mhm.
and this month is Dylan Brown from Washashka. Congrats,
Waukesha.
Dylan. Washaka. What is it?
Waukesha.
Waukesha. It's blurry.
I
Keep
know.
sending your drawings in, folks. It's always a pleasure to hear from you.
Okay.
Oh, and then
So,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Oh,
Talk about
I
the
was just
picture.
gonna say we got Dylan Brown first.
So, Dylan Brown, who submitted this, was actually supposed to be our guest today. They are a non-binary theater performer in the Milwaukee area. I know them. Waukesha is where I performed a lot of plays. And I was very excited. I'm like, I'm friends with Dylan. And I was hoping that they would be on and they could talk about their experience writing to Charmed Magazine and make fun of me because I never submitted anything. But it's really cool. It's cool they submitted something, and hopefully maybe next episode they can come on or sometime in the future talk about their experience and tell us about the goodie bag they got or whatever. Like, I want to know what happened. I want to know the experience. So hopefully that can happen soon. It's always exciting when I'm like, I know that person. They did it. They did what I couldn't do. And it was a really kind of a cool picture. It's very anime style drawing.
Yeah, I like the lines.
All right. How do you feel about any of the other gallery pictures? We have a Wyatt picture. And we have this kind of like collage and then another drawing. Looks like the Shadow of the Sphinx drawing again.
I like the Wyatt one a lot. That one came out really good.
Yeah. From Gia Min Lim in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, it looks like they just kind of did it in paint. They just took a picture and put it through a filter. I mean, anybody can do this now with today's technology. I suppose at this time it's like I have paint on my computer and I'll do something, but
Yeah, back then it was very
not
cool.
a lot of effort. Yeah. So yeah. And then that's the end of the issue. So I guess there's no quiz. You notice there's no. They stopped doing the quizzes. I guess they realized that they were terrible at making them. I know we get some more later on when they start to like be more purposeful, but we were gonna have no quiz for a while. How about put that in my canonical hat?
Canonical.
I only have 3. 2 of them I already mentioned. So we have the calling Phoebe's future daughter Melinda, and then we had the Francis Jackson who put in reckless abandonment instead of reckless abandon, which is the official name of the episode. But also when they talked about the Zankou section, they misspelled Kira's name again. They put Kira when it should be Kyra.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. So really, it wasn't that bad, this issue.
Nope.
For next episode, P is for poll for next episode.
Another P, imagine that.
P is for poll. And the question is, would you have wanted a Billy Jenkins spin-off series? Yes, no, or maybe?
I'm gonna say yes. Anytime we get more from the world of Charmed, like it's a good thing, I think. And I think it would have bridged kind of like she felt more like a Buffy character. So I think it would have bridged like Charmed and Buffy and maybe brought more fans over from Buffy.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm going to say maybe. I think my initial reaction was, no, we don't need it. But then I'm like, I would have watched it. I would have definitely tuned in to stick around and see what happens. See who comes back. See if she encountered any of the Charmed villains from the past. I want to see how much they tie into it. I think it would have been really cool if they did it right.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it being really annoying if they don't do it right, and I think that's where I was like my concern was. So that's why I'm going to say maybe. But if they did it right, it would be such a fun show.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for this issue. Then we did it. We got the stuff going for next episode. So next issue, we have Phoebe uncovered because they go in the cycle where it's like Piper, Paige, Phoebe, Piper, Paige, Phoebe, Phoebe. They keep just going over in the rotation. No Prue yet because we're not allowed to show her.
Yep.
But they have Phoebe Uncovered. Alyssa Milano talks exclusively to Charmed Magazine. Kaylee, the teenage witch. Haha, I get it. Charm's newest Wicca on the block. they did get Zakara's pet peeve. They call her a Wicca.
Nice.
A Wicca. A Wicca. Charm's newest Wicca on the block speaks out. Oh my gosh. Terrible. All right. And then we have Julian McMahon. At long last, we've got Cole, and boy, was it well worth the wait. So that would be nice to talk to him and not, hear what he has to say, especially now. And then this is exclusive set report. We have more behind the scenes on Charmed 8th season, plus 8 more pages from the actual Book of Shadows for you to cut out and keep, plus more sensational Charm secrets courtesy of showrunner Brad Kern. So, yeah. So where can we find you, Sean? We are coming back for Solving for X. I know that much. What?
Yeah, this Friday, Solving for X, Season 4 of X-Men Evolution, the beginning of the end, last 9 episodes. Find us on Solving for X or X-Men Tasks. Shortcut to finding any of my podcasts I've done with Kevin is just search Shawnee Havoc in Spotify, and you'll come up with a list of my podcasts. Also on my social media, I am Shawnee Havoc. I like making fun of Trump.
Yes. Absolutely.
I was going to do another one. I was so mad. When JD Vance was in California, I tried to get a video of Cherry from Pee Wee Herman, and I was going to have her say, "Come home, JD, I miss you." But YouTube was locked it down to where I couldn't get the video.
Oh, man. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, I'm just looking at my 3 houses, my 3 manors in the background. I look ridiculous.
You do, yeah. Even without the manors, you look ridiculous.
Cool. So we'll see you next episode for issue 9. And yeah. So thanks for listening, Spellworders. You can find us at Words of the Witches, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And email us at wordsofwitchespod@gmail.com if you've got something to say. And yeah, see you soon.
Yeah.
Your destiny still awaits. Hacha!
Tomato.